Coming up on the Geno Auriemma Show, presented by UConn Health.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
A show devoted to practice.
Do you ever wake up, get out of bed, and you're like, I do not want to do this today?
What is it that gets under the coach's skin?
Big deal that you can make that shot. Here's you. And then a half back cut.
And what makes it all worthwhile?
They turn around to run back down the floor and they look over at the bench and they got this look on their face. And it's just the best part.
Also, we get inside the coach's head in Geno On.
There is no deviating from our schedule. That's just the way it's going to be. Sometimes I just change it just because I know it drives her crazy.
All that and more on the Geno Auriemma Show.
Welcome to the Geno Auriemma Show. And Geno, we want to delve into practice a little bit with this show. When you enter the gym, do you feel like you step in and you morph into a different man? It's coach time.
There's obviously a difference between being in your office or doing some recruiting or writing letters or having meetings and then all of a sudden you're at practice. But it's different. Yeah, you become a little more, let's go, it's competition. Go, 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 go. Get in the habit of winning at everything. Get in the habit of winning at everything. It's like a teacher's not the same when they're not in the classroom as they are, when they are in the classroom. So yeah, you walk in and I've got stuff I got to get done the next couple hours, and some days you go according to your lesson plan and it works perfectly.
Your opening speech at practice.
Everybody's got stuff to learn every day. So nobody's like free and clear, I got this. It's not going to be like that.
Do you rehearse that, or does it just kind of come to you?
No, I have a topic that I want to discuss with them, whatever that may be. It might be basketball related, it might not be basketball related. It may be 2 minutes, it may be 10 minutes, depends. It may be specific to certain individuals, or it may be just general. I'm always thinking, all right, I'm going to beat her. Because you know what? You're always trying to say, this is why I should play more than she should. And you also use it to kind of gauge, you look in everybody's eyes and you're like, all right, who's home in there and who's not? And you can make some assumptions based on that.
Many coaches say they really like practice more than games because it's their time to really dig in and teach. Do you feel that way?
I used to. There was a time, I think, when practice was a little more predictable. You knew more times than you did not what you were going to get, and there was a certain consistency. And today, it's a little bit more difficult, I think, to keep the focus where it needs to be. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. Practice, it's way more important than the games. We've always believed that every game is won before you even play it. You guys understand this is a competition, right? Okay. I'm sure you guys know that. Make sure you guys know you're trying to beat the other guy, right? If you go into every game not sure whether you're going to win or not, that's probably a reflection of how you practiced.
Do you ever wake up, get out of bed, and you're like, I do not want to do this today?
Not quite that far yet, but there's been days, a lot, obviously, over the years where you're not looking forward to it because, one, it's going to be difficult because of some of the stuff that you're going to put them through. And two, you're not sure how they're going to respond, and you're scared to death that it's going to be a response that you're just going to have to go, okay, get out. Make shots. Ew, that's ugly. Make shots. That's ugly too. Bank shots. Practice involves skill work. It involves a certain teaching part of it. When the guy's down below, you pin him. When the guy tries to stop you up here, you spin off and you try to catch it right in this area right here. And then the actual competitive aspect of it when you put a lot of defense in there against each other. And what I try to do is, if I think it's going great and they really feel great about themselves, I try to make it where the challenge is going to be great. And they then are up to the task and they love it. And you could see them, they relish in the competition. And then there's days where they just don't feel it. They don't feel like it. You can tell by their body language. You can tell by the look on their faces. And it could be a number of reasons. And in those days, sometimes I make it even more difficult than it would be otherwise. Human nature is when things are going good, you tend to feel better about yourself. You try harder. And then when things are not going well, you don't feel as good about yourself. You try less because you feel sorry for yourself. So I take the opposite approach. When things are going well, okay, let's do this. Things are not going well, you want to feel sorry for yourself? I want to make it harder. And now you have two choices, fight or give up.
So on that note, when you walk into practice, do you know whether it's going to be a good day or a bad day?
Sometimes it starts one way and it ends completely the other way. You might have a start that's like, oh boy, this is going to be tough. And then somewhere along the way, they just pick it up and they take off and it becomes great. Rotate out, good. Good. Other days it starts out really well. And then whatever reason, the collective energy kind of dissipates and you look around and you go, oh God. Hey, that's what makes life interesting. Some of you guys are going to have a hard time here at Connecticut because you don't pay attention. Pay the hell attention to every little thing so that when you're on the court, you don't do what's happened yesterday. See what I mean? You've been in here 3 possessions and you turned it over twice. Wow, that's terrible, huh? That's terrible, huh? No, I would stop shooting them if I were you, if you're not going to even hit the rim. You got to prove to everybody that you should play. That's it. Go, 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 go! That's better. Let's go. That's better. That's good. That's way better. That was better today, huh? Yeah? I thought it was pretty good, too. Right? Let's get another one tomorrow, okay? Let's go. Together, 1, 2, 3. Together. Let's go.
Geno, we mic you up for several practices. When the mic is on, the cameras are rolling, do you hold back a little bit, or is everybody at home getting the true Geno in practice?
Well, no, because you guys edit out a bunch of stuff. So it's not like they're getting the exact feeling that they would get at practice. But, yeah, I try not to be too much different just because I know I have a microphone or because there's cameras at practice. If you guys talk to each other, you won't both look like idiots. Generally speaking, with you guys, it's the real thing. Like, how'd you guys get into this school? That's like 3 times in a row now that our freshmen are standing right here. If I wanted you to stand right here, I would have put those X's right here.
Do you ever go into practice knowing you're going to be really tough on a certain player that day?
Yes. Hey, Lou, big deal that you can make that shot. Seriously. Big deal. The problem is we can't ever get you the damn ball because you can't get open. Here's you. And then a half back cut. And then we got to come to the other side. So what that you can make an open 3? Well, let's say it's somebody's, this is the 2nd or 3rd game, or it's been 2 weeks now and we've been harping on somebody for the same things all that time. And now we go into practice and it's like, okay, that's it. The time to look the other way and the excuses and, you know, kid glove stuff, it's over. We're going in there today and we're going to fix this. And they're going to get it. That's a bad shot, Lou. They're right there with a guy with a hand in your face. And we're going to see how they react. I think for me, practice is mostly a test, a challenge. a dress rehearsal with a chance to see how people will react under pressure. And what kind of pressure? Well, I can't simulate game action. I mean, we don't have a crowd. We don't have referees. So what pressure can you put on them? So you have to come up with ways to make them feel that they're under pressure. Keep up with everybody. Don't be last in anything. Keep up. And you wait and see how people respond. And some people just thrive on it. They're one way without the pressure, and then when you put pressure on them, light goes on and they're unbelievable. And then you got others that are great. You go, wow, that kid's really good. And then the minute you turn the pressure up, they can't function. You know, like the people that watch our games and they want to know, well, how come somebody doesn't play? Well, because if you came to practice every day and watched them, you would say, why would you put them in the game? And then somebody would go, well, why'd you recruit them? And I would say, because we didn't know they were going to be like this. So once you get here, you have to prove in practice that you can handle game pressure and crowd pressure and whatever else is going on. We've had players in the past, more so lately, the last 10 years or so, players have these personal trainers that they work with back home. Okay. Everybody talks about these guys. Oh, I got my trainer, helps me with this. I got this, he helps me, or she helps me with this and that. And I always roll my eyes and go, okay, that's great. Then you put them out there with 4 other players and defense, and they look around and go, oh boy, we never do this with my trainer.
At practice, it's your rules.
At practice, I make the rules. It's not a great shot with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. And in practice, if I don't like the way things are going, I change the rules. And at practice, you're not going to beat me unless you are really, really, really good. And if you start beating me, I'll change the rules so I have a better chance to win. And if you still beat me, then I leave practice that day going, damn, man, we're really good. That was better. That was better. My biggest fear as a coach, I think, is players leaving after their senior year and going, I don't think coach pushed me enough. I think I could have been better if I'd have just had a little more pressure behind me. And I don't ever want anybody, I'd rather leave them going, you know what? I hated all 4 years there. All that guy did was just push and push and push and push and push. I got sick of it. I'd rather hear that while they're picking up trophies in the WNBA than hear, I wish I'd have got pushed while they're, you know, playing someplace in the 30 and under league because they didn't get the most out of their ability. See what I mean? You've been in here 3 possessions and you turned it over twice.
What's the most irritating thing that happens in practice?
My bad. That becomes their white out. Whatever they did, as long as they say, my bad, okay, that takes care of it. And it just drives me crazy because it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. That's irritating. If I got to correct the same thing every day for 5 months, well, something's going to give. And usually it means you're not going to be here or you're not going to play.
Are you experiencing that with this team?
You experience it with every team. Every team has it. And every kid has it at some point. I mean, every kid has to have like a breakthrough. You know, like I'll give you, you know, whether it's Mariah Jefferson, when she got here as a freshman, you know, she's homeschooled. She's playing, you know, in a different kind of a league. So now she gets here and she's playing on the #1 team in the country. And on the floor, there's like 4 All-Americans. And it's so overwhelming, she can't function. And then all of a sudden you come to practice one day and you go, damn, Mo's got it.
So nobody's walked in with the light bulb on?
The light bulb completely on? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we've had some. We've had some that the light bulb is on and it's so bright, it's unbelievable from day one. And then we've had those that over 4 years, it just keeps getting brighter and brighter and you can't extinguish it. And then we've had ones that come in and the light bulb's on and you go, wow. And then the first sign of, you know, storm, the power goes out. They all have their own unique idiosyncrasies, I guess is the right word. For sure, CD is a creature of habit. She will wake up the exact same time every morning. She will go to the exact same place every morning at the same time. She will work out the exact same time. She will go to the exact same place to get her iced teas, and there is no deviating from her schedule. That's just the way it's going to be. And same thing when we're traveling, you know exactly where she's going to be, what she's going to do, what time she's going to do it. Her personality type and the way she conducts herself hasn't changed in 32 years. If anything, it's gotten even more rigid, to the point where I would say, what time's dinner? Well, it says on the schedule 6:30. I know, but you know, like I think we ought to probably, you know, go like, you know, maybe 6:35. It says on the schedule 6:30. I'm like, sometimes I just change it just because I know it drives her crazy.
Let's touch on some of your assistants. Do they ever play good cop to your bad cop?
Mostly every day. That's their job. Their role is to be advocates for the players. You know, we don't play good against pressure. They don't like getting hit.
Good offense, come on, White.
And yet at the same time, their role is to maintain that standard that we have. Like, hey, this isn't, are you doing okay? How you feeling? I know, look, don't worry about him. This is what we're gonna do. It's not that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, the perfect assistant is the one that can strike that balance between how demanding they need to be because they've built a relationship with the players that's different than a head coach. I mean, when I was an assistant coach, I had a different relationship with the players at Virginia than I do as a head coach at Connecticut. It's just natural, you know? Very few players feel comfortable enough to walk into the head coach's office with the same kind of things that they walk into an assistant coach's office. It's like you talk to your brother and sister about things you might not talk to your parents about. Mm. That's the way it works.
On a positive note, what is the most gratifying thing that happens in practice?
When somebody does something they didn't think they could do. The look on their face. And you could see like they're so happy about it. They feel so good about themselves. And then all of a sudden in a game, that exact scenario pops up and they need that exact thing. And they do the exact thing. And it's just the best part. So
when do you say, okay, Geno, you've done your job?
Oh,
all right.
Pat yourself on the
day.
back?
I did my job today.
Today I had a great practice. Mm-hmm. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I've had that a couple times in my career.
You tend to skew towards the negative, would you say?
Yeah. You always leave feeling like, I wish I would have spent. Because I'm not somebody that's held hostage by my list of things to do. Mm-hmm. Even though you have to do a lot of things. I'm more of like, all right, here's what we need to do today. We need to cover this. And then as we go, dun, 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 dun. What's going on here? Wait, what was that? 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 Sometimes if that guy cheats in like that, if you see that guy constantly backing up like that, come here. Okay. Come here. And then we end up going off on a tangent a little bit because something really, really needs to be addressed right there, right now, and for more time than we allotted to. And then you get back to your schedule if you can. Sometimes you do right away, sometimes you don't. And then at the end of the day, you go, man, we didn't get to this, this, and this.
Do you write it down or is it all up here?
No. You know, it's funny. When I first started coaching, I bet you I had a list about this big and every little thing was written down so that there was so much, there was no way you could possibly do it all. You tried to account for every split second of practice. And then years and years and years and years, I realized, that's stupid. I can't do all that. You know what else you gotta do? You gotta make sure we remember to do this with the ball in their hand.
Oh, we can have the ball tomorrow.
So you talked about over the course of 30 years here at practice, is there anything that has stayed the same?
We do a lot of the same drills. A whole bunch that we never did in the beginning, but we do a lot of the same stuff. We're probably more offensive minded than we were my first 5, 6, 7 years.
And is that because the game is going that way?
The game's changed a little bit. Yeah. You have to keep an eye on what is the temperature of the game. Where's the college game? Where's the game in general? College, pro, overseas. What are the best teams doing? And how do they stay one step ahead of everybody else? Guys, I'm trying to think if we did that, if we could make that work. 4 baskets. So we've always tried to anticipate like what's coming next, but I find that we're doing stuff that coaches used to do in the 60s. And you go, why? Oh, it works. So, hey, if you'd have told me when I was in college and a little bit post-college in the 70s, you know, you should hold on to all your polyester shirts and stuff. They're going to be worth something in a few years. People will be dying to buy them from you. Everything that's worth having eventually comes back. How long it lasts, I don't know. But the good stuff generally doesn't go away.